Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy. So our story would continue with our hero, Ultra Vegito, the Demon Slayer, still reeling from taking in the energy of the former Demon Emperor Aiza. His body still uncontrollably releasing aura as a familiar Lucifer-esque demonic red lightning dances all over his body. And when we would zoom in on his clearly struggling face, though his eyes would be closed, the tone of his groans would hush with time. All over his body, veins would protrude and move as if Vegito's own body wanted to forcibly reject such a demonic entity entering it. But alas, eventually the aura, red lightning, and agony would subside, as with a calmed look and the rising rocks around him beginning to fall back to the ground, the Demon Slayer would let out a relieved breath of air, just as every hint of the demonic red lightning would extinguish away too. But as he would look into his palm concerned, he would know he was not entirely the same Saiyan, commenting, "I controlled it. It took far more effort than I thought it would, but that Aiza shouldn't be having any effect on my power level unless I want him to. He's safely cocooned away, asleep. Lucifer really was increasing my power from the very beginning, from the minute I committed the cardinal sin of killing a god. It's no surprise my power took such a hit once he left, but I'll admit, I didn't think it would be this bad. Something still feels off about this whole situation." But with time being of the essence, the Demon Slayer wouldn't stew in his shortcomings for too long before he would look above and think, "For now, it means nothing. I can handle these emperors as I am. Right now, I need to figure out where I go next. Aiza mentioned 10 sectors, so I guess there'll be a sign or something in this damned cesspool. A portal, maybe." And just like that, the Demon Slayer would fly upwards with speed, straight towards the sky, flying through the thunder and lightning with a flash of white aura, as his sharp eyes would look from side to side, but seemingly to no avail. As annoyed, he would comment, "What is this place? I can't see anything. No life, no sound. Where did Aiza and his men even come from? It almost feels like I'm going in circles too." But removing his sight from his forward surroundings, Vegito would look up once more, turning his trajectory slightly upwards as he flies and thinks, "If there's nothing on the ground, maybe there's something up there. before taking the plunge completely and flying straight up with even more ferocity than before. And accompanying the increased power and speed, the Demon Slayer's face a look of pure confidence, with his signature smirk he would let out. And if not, maybe I'll just smash my way out. No demon realm can stop me! But in somewhat similar fashion to a certain Goku trying the same thing in hell, all it would result in is one gigantic fail and head slam, as Vegito is stopped dead in his tracks with a bang, as what seems like an invisible barrier that not even the God Killer can break through appears at the top of the skyline. Okay, maybe this can stop me. What the hell is this place? As in a comedically pained face, the practically in tears Vegito, with a growing bump on his skull, would slowly fall back down in a daze, as if he was in slow motion. Damn it! But the humor would soon turn to pure unadulterated frustration. As he claws his hands, his muscles would tense and his teeth would grit. The Demon Slayer would then grumble, "This is nonsense! If I don't know where to go, then I failed everyone already! It's pointless. Even if I could get to the next sector, by the time I got through all these damn emperors, everyone on Earth would surely be dead by then. Lucifer isn't going to wait around." Relax, young Saiyan. But just when emotions would take over the Demon Slayer, a calming older voice would call out from within yet again. It of course being the third of the 5 strongest, Yamoshi, who standing back turned to the newer generation Saiyan would explain, "You worry about too much of the wrong things, kid. Like I said, you need information if you want to get out of here. And you need it for peace of mind too. Know this, time doesn't move like it does in the mortal realm. No realm does. They are all different. I don't know the exact specifics for what it's like here in comparison, but what I do know is that just like in the Pyramid of Power, a day in the mortal realm would equate to far longer in here. Time probably has barely moved with your loved ones. You have time, but this same reason is why these demons here are so powerful, and not the walk in the park you expected. Like the Pyramid of Power? And of course, hearing this would bring a wave of relief over Vegito, but also some questions as he would query. I see. So I do have some time after all. But what does that have to do with these emperors being so strong? No matter what they are, and whether I lost Lucifer and the 2 Saiyans or not, I literally absorbed all the gods, the angels, the 5 strongest, and even GT. How could the demon emperors possibly be at this level? Didn't Guts even manage to seal one in his sword? But hearing these words spouted from Vegito would only annoy Yamoshi, as he would begrudgingly then let out, You really don't ever listen to what your opponents ever have to say to you, do you? The answer to all your moronic questions is always right in front of you. The problem with fools like you is that you can never think deeper than the surface level. The demon realm only exists because even Zeno and I couldn't do a thing about it. Why fear something if anybody in our realm could wipe them out? Ask yourself these questions, clown! Before Yamoshi, now done unleashing his frustration, would then open his eyes and continue, Aiza himself told you how this realm works. The Demon Kings fight constantly to become Demon Emperors, and the Demon Emperors fight constantly to have a chance at becoming the one true devil. Lucif did it and held the throne for millennia. His power was unrivaled. Power you and I still don't even know the extent of. And now he's gone. Someone else has taken his place. Someone who could possibly even be stronger. But for a minute, just imagine a land like that, where all they know is competition and battle to the death. It means the Demon Emperor of yesterday is not even the Demon Emperor of today. Case in point, how now you're the Demon Emperor of Sector 10. It's a constant war of attrition down here. And what that means is that these demons are always getting stronger. It's an exponential curve. And when you couple that with how time moves down here, these things are limitless. It's only Aiza who probably still exists out of all the emperors since the last time I was here. And that's only because he's number 10, the bottom ranked. Make no mistake, maybe your memory is fuzzy, but I told you, I came down here to stop lower demons. Not one of the 5 could hold a candle to an emperor. GT maybe, but guts? Give me a break. That fool sealed a mere demon king and called it an emperor. Why else do you think he has never even named that thing? Seriously? And hearing this, Vegito would finally realize what he had got himself into. The ball would finally drop on just where he was, and how powerful the warriors in front of him would be. In this alternate realm, where time moves differently like the Pyramid of Power or Hyperbolic Time Chamber, demons who would have been battling and getting stronger for not just days or years, but their entire lives would exist, as the God Killer would just mutter, "But that cannot be! If Aiza was the weakest, what is the devil here like? And worse yet, what on earth is Lucif really like now in his own body? Now I understand why the mortal realm could never allow even one demon to escape." You look blue in the face, kid. But Yamoshi, despite him being in the same position, would find Vegito's apparent fear-struck face amusing. Though, with a hint of faith, he would then say, "It may seem daunting, but your situation in the past, from a lowly mortal to having to make your way to die, was no different a mountain to climb. Just remember, though these warriors may be strong, it just means with every battle, you too have the opportunity to become wildly stronger too. Beating Lucifer was an impossibility before, but now, you just might have a chance. What? Beating Lucifer? With Yamoshi having put things back into perspective for the younger Saiyan, Vegito's fear would slowly dissipate, and instead, a feeling of opportunity would arise. As with his face shadowed, and with a cunning laugh, the Demon Slayer would then finally let out, "Perfect! This was how it was always meant to be. Lucifer, it looks like you haven't won just yet after all. Stay strong, Kakarot, Vegeta. This will be all over once I'm back." But after saying this, almost randomly, Vegito would then spit out onto the floor, the thick, viscous liquid immediately landing with a splash, before rising, expanding, and taking shape until undeniably the form of a certain legendary Saiyan would begin to grow forth. And before long, of course, Yamoshi would finally make his reappearance in the flesh, staring into his palms as if even he couldn't believe the Godkiller would actually agree to his demands, muttering, You actually did it! And here I thought you younger generation had no respect for your elders. Respect? I don't respect any god, let alone you. But Vegito, with his arms folded, would be quick to quip back, letting Yamoshi know to not get things twisted, as he would add, "You've proven enough times now, you really know your stuff about this place. If letting you out gets me out of here faster, then so be it. Not like your level of power really made that much of a difference anyway. It's just annoying. You'd think, after making you a part of my body, I'd have access to all of your knowledge by force anyway." But Yamoshi, turning his head, disgruntled by such a thought, would reply, "Don't forget, I wasn't just absorbed in a glob of goo like those other fools. You actually fused with me with Potara, like Kakarot and Vegeta. And maybe you could force every bit of knowledge out of those two mortals who support you. But it's entirely different to force a god's knowledge on you. Don't ever underestimate me." Before Yamoshi, now having said his piece, would just fly off in a rush into the sky, but not to escape. As looking back to the Demon Slayer, he would yell, "Anyway, that's enough explanation from me for one day. If you want to move to the next area, follow me. Sector 9 is this way." And in chase with a smile, on the word of Yamoshi, Vegito would follow, as internally he would just think, "Looks like I made the right decision with you after all, old man. You 9 emperors left. Get ready to make free my throne!" But back in a more stressful situation on Bumper, we would rejoin a Super Saiyan Goku, still cautiously in fighting stance, after the emergence of his very own Demon Emperor. As in the distance, a muscular heavy foot would stomp down on the ground hard. Your hair, your eyes. As the unnamed Demon Emperor would just stand curiously, with his hands behind his back, addressing the blonde warrior, saying, I didn't expect to see such a thing on this planet. Perhaps here is where he came from. But either way, tell me, what are these questions you have for me then? I'm curious. But regardless of this, the impatient Goku would just rush in anyway, eager to battle, as he would yell, I'll ask you after I've earned it! Don't hold back now! And as he would approach, his arm would be pulled back, but interestingly, with an open palm, before... The Saiyan would blast out an energy beam point blank, but only for the demon to simply dodge with a twist of his hips, his arms disrespectfully still secured behind his back. Followed by two quick consecutive kicks aimed for the Emperor's skull, that both unfortunately missed too. Leaving the currently naive demon to just chuckle, commenting on Goku's struggle, saying, Are you sure you insist on earning your answers? So far, I think your balance is going negative with these moves. Allow me to just answer now, and give you a quick death, mortal. No! But suddenly, taking it up a notch, transforming into a Super Saiyan 3, Goku would roar back in defiance, now several times stronger than before, completely showered in blue electricity. You! And it would seem, with this transformation, even the Emperor would be surprisingly taken off guard, removing his arms from his backside, but whether this was due to Goku's power would only be confirmed until he would mutter, That long hair! The green eyes! Now you really look like... But before that sentence could even finish, his increased speed as a Super Saiyan 3, Goku would already be on the move, his face a blur until... But he would inevitably miss yet again, though this time with a vanish from the Emperor. It would seem it wasn't so much Goku's power that took the demon off guard, but more so, just his appearance. There he is. And when Goku would eventually look up, above, the Demon Emperor would reappear safely away. A smirk still on his face, however, as he would say, You nearly got me there. You're stronger too, I see. But don't kid yourself. This land and your soul belongs to Lord Lucif. The mentioning of the new Omni King, however, immediately would leave our hero with a bitter taste, as Goku would just remain momentarily silent, staring at a standstill with the Emperor until... Shooting upwards like a bullet, Goku would use his Super Saiyan 3 speed to reach the Emperor near instantly. not just stronger! With his arm pulled back now, with a closed fist, he would... launch his knuckles straight forward. With some effort now, the Emperor would slide back from its path. And once more, from a comboed roundhouse kick straight after. Faster too! As now grinning ear to ear, as if enjoying the exchange, a slight hint of being impressed would be heard as he says, "Forget your questions. Now I'm intrigued what else you can do. You'd make a fine Demon King, mortal." As if wanting to perform for his words, Goku would then fire a barrage of ki beams instantly after. Very nice, but still not enough. As immediately, the Emperor would then begin dodging each and every beam, without as much as a hair singed on his body, all while his demonic grin remains a mainstay on each of his left behind after images. This guy. Now this is what I imagined a demon to be like. As Goku after this onslaught would be left impressed too, but also out of breath. As the two would then face off in the air, the Emperor goading, "Well, show me something else. It's not easy traveling all the way here, you know." And as Goku's face would then get markedly more serious, he would say internally, "Show you something, huh? Guess these demons don't know to be careful about what you wish for." As suddenly, circulating all around Goku's right hand only, distinct yellow electricity would dance all around until... You can thank Yamcha for this one. As strangely, grabbing onto his right hand's wrist, as if trying to concentrate all of his power, a bright light would begin to shine from within its palm, and cast shadows all over the smirking face of Goku. As Goku would raise his hand, a hyper-concentrated ball of energy with a layer of aura would emerge, his stance placed as if about to hurl a javelin, the Saiyan saying with confidence, "I haven't used this in a very long time, so be happy. You're one of few to see it. My friend calls this trick the Spirit Ball." Now have a look at it closer! Without warning, his smile would turn to full-on rage as he would chuck the powerful ball of energy straight at the Emperor with fury. Its speed being far faster than just Goku flying, as it near immediately reaches the demon's eyeline. Well, this one is new. But regardless, the Emperor in response would maintain his amusement, simply flying back in tandem with the energy ball, attempting to maintain a healthy distance. But as he would fly around, soon enough he would realize that this energy ball was no ordinary one. As he would comment, "I see. So this ball will follow me wherever I am, eh? Aiza had a similar attack." With this in mind, quickly, the Emperor would change directions, now flying actually towards Goku. "Back to me, huh? great minds think alike, but I've already seen this move before. As immediately, a sly smirk would crawl across Goku's face, as he would reminisce to an earlier memory back on Namek with Frieza, and anticipate exactly what would happen next. You're smiling, but do you really know what's coming to you? And all the while, the none the wiser Emperor, who thinks he's the smartest in the room, would be smiling all the way forward, as he would fly straight for Goku now, clearly closing the distance faster and faster. Come closer! But don't say I didn't warn you. As now ducking his head grinning, Goku would prepare himself. Smile all you want, but let's see how much control you really have! As in a slightly different move to what Goku did back on Namek, right in front of Goku, only a meter away or so, the Emperor would immediately shift trajectory straight up, while the energy ball, of course, continues to travel forward at an untold velocity. No control needed for this part. You're like a younger version of me. With Goku, now with not even a hint of fear, as he stares the spirit ball straight up, would begin to tense his muscles before... In a flash, his power level would skyrocket to levels never before seen or expected from the Emperor of Immortal, as Goku would instantly unleash his Ultra form, combining both Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego together. It's just the power of his aura alone then obliterates the spirit ball approaching, shattering it to strands of weak energy. I told you. As Ultra Goku, now overflowing with insane energy, stronger than ever before in this form curiously, would stare on with his violent purple eyes at his demonic foe before. As if he was never there to begin with, the Ultra Saiyan would begin to dematerialize, and mid-vanish would... Finally! Appear right in front of the Emperor with undetectable speed, slamming a harder kick than ever before onto the demon that finally this time lands, stunning the Emperor instantly as his body is launched away. Eventually leading to the Emperor smashing through dual mountains like an unstoppable spear, with each crash leaving the demon to screech out in agony. While above, Goku would look on at his work, the destruction left behind from his single kick, as with a smirk of confidence on his face again finally, he would say... I did tell you to be careful what you wished for. It's surprising I even needed to go this far for you. I bet there's tons of strong guys just like you out there now, isn't there? I know it's bad, but I can't help but be excited. But from the rubble, one kick wouldn't be able to stop the feared demon Emperor, stumbling up to stand. Pure vitriol and anger now seen on his scratched up face, his eyes darkened within the shadows. But quite unbelievably, his growl would not be the only one. as from behind him, the face of what can only be described as a beast would seemingly have been awoken from his slumber, and it would not be happy about it. As exploding from the ground would be one of the many green furry planet dwellers of Vampa. Its sharp fang-like teeth bared and its tongue out dripping with wet saliva, as if it was staring at its next meal. How dare you! But just the beast's approach would seem to trigger the Emperor endlessly, with his eyes still darkened and his teeth gritted before...
How dare you tower over demon royalty, mortal!
As suddenly, his eyes would burst open wide and reveal a demonic red. And as soon as the green beast would make eye contact, the killer intent alone would begin to create some changes. As almost immediately, like his body was having an allergic reaction, the creature's whole body would begin to puff up uncontrollably as growths emerge on every side of his face and body until... violent explosion of blood, guts and flesh, the green fur-clad beast would be no more, unleashing now a rain of crimson red blood in the sky, pouring down over the face of the Emperor, who would stand there still looking on, as he would mutter silently, "Poor creature, you did not know who you stood before. The feet of Emperor Kaida." What the? And as Goku would watch on from above at the absolute bloodbath, his face would be filled with shock and dread, as beginning to sweat from the darkness he would sense, he would mumble, He did that with just a look! What is this guy? Kaida? But the sadistic evil nature and actions of the Emperor wouldn't end there, as while the rain of blood would fall, a long pointed tongue would emerge to taste, as he would comment, "Such weak, disgusting blood, so impure, so pathetic.
You better make a much finer meal, mortal!
As suddenly, like a schizophrenic, changing personalities, destroying the ground beneath him, Kaida would rush forward at Goku like a rabid dog off the leash, his eyes blood red as he looks to destroy every last trace of our hero. And in response, without fear, facing the incoming threat, Goku would just get into fighting stance. He's fast! But it would only take a nanosecond for Kaida to already be in his face, surprising even the Saiyan with his speed before... Goku would then instinctively clench his fist tight, ready to strike back. But with that speed, so too would come an instant miss as Kaida would disappear. But as Goku would turn his head, the Emperor this time would not reappear far off, but instead right to his side, gliding through the air before... grabbing Goku's entire face, smothering him with his giant, clawed, oversized palm, as Goku would panic from within. and for good reason, as soon unleashing a horrendously demonic scream, Kaido would launch himself and Goku in tow, covered in aura, straight towards the ground until, in a gigantic explosion, our hero Son Goku would be smashed headfirst onto the cold surface of planet Vampa. The end result being a battered and bruised Goku, bleeding out of the mouth as he gasped for breath. But his misery would not be over just yet, as Kaido's hand would then grab onto his foot and... with a vicious ferocity, as if he had no value for the Saiyan's life, he would toss him far up, high into the sky. All with a maniacal look on his face, enjoying the damage he inflicts, as he would say, "You tell me I should be careful what I wish for, but aren't you the one who got excited at the thought of powerful foes? Allow me to grant your wish!" As instantly, Emperor Kaido would then fly into the sky to catch up with the flailing body of Goku before... With strike after strike, punched across the face and uppercut under the chin, Goku would face a severe beating. Until with one more debilitating final blow, Goku would be struck with full force from above, sent careering down for a massive crash, while the foot of Kaido would land on the ground moments later to observe his results. Come on! Surely you don't think I would believe you're done already? As with a broad smile, Kaido would call out for Goku to show himself. But as he stares at the silent smoke rising with no hint of movement, he would begin to wonder if he was wrong. Only for Goku then to pop out suddenly from behind, with a dark ball of energy before yelling, "Hakai!" Yelling at the top of his lungs, unleashing all of his destruction energy. And as a result, a gigantic explosion of destruction would then be unleashed that destroys everything in its path, leaving Goku to land in the distance as the smoke would rise. And with a smile on his face, there would be an air of confidence for the Saiyan until... in total disregard for the Saiyan's efforts, the Emperor would appear from the smoke unfazed, and worse yet, yawning from boredom it would seem. What? I hit him directly with a Hakai! Leaving Goku utterly perplexed and near shuddering in fear, as he can hardly understand what he would be seeing. You seem frightened, mortal. And this fear, as if having a distinct smell, would be noticed immediately by Kaido, as he, with a terrifying grin, would continue. Don't drop your guard now. Look behind you. As just as Kaido would have said, behind Goku, inexplicably, two demon eyes would appear before...
Time to die, flesh pile!
As a giant dark beast would inexplicably instantly appear right in front of Goku as he would turn around, petrifying him in the spot with shock. And as his senses would become overwhelmed with the pure killer intent and evil before him, seemingly, Goku would lose consciousness momentarily. As appearing out of the giant creature, as if it were only an illusion after all, Kaido would backhand the Saiyan with force, sending Goku this time to smash through 2 consecutive mountains, as if returning the favor from earlier. And now, with his clothes ripping apart, Goku would land flattened far off on a pile of rubble as it would continue to fall over him. All while, meanwhile, Kaido, now who has lost sight of the Saiyan but can sense his weakening energy, would fold his arms and comment, "This is no fun anymore. I suppose I never expected any kind of challenge in this realm, but you at least had me convinced I might." Before now rising up from the ground and turning to fly away, Kaido would comment, "This planet is ready for extraction. Lord Lucifer should be wiser to let demon kings do the work of an emperor." But just as the emperor would think his job is done, what? From behind, a giant pillar of pure Saiyan energy would explode from behind one of the many mountains Goku blasted through. And unbelievably, not just any energy pillar, as from it would instantly form into a Saiyan dragon, roaring a roar that would be heard all throughout the universe. And deep within, a lone dark silhouette would begin rising slowly upwards. Seraphim Goku had finally arrived. The games are over, and coated in his bright Saiyan aura, his hair the same, and his eyes now fully back in Seraphim mode, Son Goku would be ready to show this demon emperor just why they should have never arrived in Universe 7. But that was it for today's video, guys. If you made it this far, leave me a hashtag Vegeta in the comments down below and let me know just where the prince has gone with his Seraphim of Destruction eyes. Or just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked, and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.